Hello everybody, this is Namanjan coming out with a new tutorial. Today we're gonna learn about GUI. So first I'm gonna give you a little bit of an introduction about GUI, and then we're gonna learn how to display our enemies out on the screen. So as we know, we're doing this Diablo style way. So as we know, our mob's health is gonna show up at the top over here. So we're gonna basically have a health bar, and health is gonna reduce as our mob's health is gonna reduce. So before we start, I want to basically tell you that we need to download some images for this. So let's go ahead and download them. Okay, so I actually found a good image of a health bar which is very similar to Diablo, and I will show you this. So you can go to Google and you can type in Diablo Health Bar. Let's see, did it show it up? And there you go. You can go to this image over here. I will send a link to this description, a link in the description below too of this. But remember, you are not allowed to use this in your game. This is just all for you to just learn, and just a GUI for you to learn. And I'm not saying that I own this picture or anything, but please make sure that you don't use this in your game and sell it out to other people, because this is not mine nor yours artwork. So so you can go ahead and download this. I'll give the link in the description, and I've already downloaded one over here. Oops. Okay, so now that we've got the health bar, we need to do some changes to this first of all. So first of all, just maximize it so you can see clearly. And what you're gonna do is, this is on preview on Mac. Now I'm not sure about how it works in Windows, because I've not owned Windows in a long time, but I'm sure you'll have some or the other way to just crop. I don't know, Photoshop or some kind of image editor. So you're just gonna crop the health bar. Gonna say in my case Command T and Command U. So in this case, I have a health bar for the games which can expand and decline. So we're gonna just name this bar, and we're gonna save this for now in my desktop. So this is basically gonna be our health bar, and next, this thing over here is gonna be our frame. So now one thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna copy paste this thing over here. It's a little bit of work. I don't know if this is a stupid way of doing it, or is this the only way, but you Command C, Command V, and just overlap over this, so you have just a frame. Oopsie. Nope. So this way you can just make a frame of your own, like that. And the last one. And basically you can save it. So now you just have a frame over here, and we can save this as frame. We're gonna save it in our desktop for now, and that's it. So now we have a frame, we have a bar and a frame. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Unity, and we are gonna make a new folder called GUI texture. Gonna go in GUI texture and say import new assets, and import the bar and import the frame. Now you have to remember to click both of them. This is very important to improve your quality, and select GUI texture type and make it trilinear filter mode. I don't know what exactly it does, but it just makes it better quality. Don't ask why. And so basically what you're gonna do now is you're gonna go ahead in your hierarchy and create an empty and name it GUI. It's good to have a empty game object which is called GUI, and you have all your scripts in one game object, which makes it more organized. And you're gonna put a name, maybe enemy health. Okay. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and open it up. And I just don't like these comments. And we're gonna go ahead and make another method called void on GUI. Now this method basically is already defined by Unity, and basically whatever you can basically put in all your GUI in this method, or you can be like GUI.label. I'll explain you all this code, GUI.label, and then you can put in your position and your content, whatever you want to. But you can't do this same thing in your updates because it is only specific to this function over here. So that's very important to remember. And so now let's get in the actual coding itself. So first we are going to have the bar, the frame itself, not the bar but the frame. So you're gonna have a public texture 2D. I'll actually zoom in because it'll be easier for you to see. Texture 2D, let's name it frame. And we're gonna have a public rect frame position. So this is gonna be the picture, and this is gonna be the position of the frame, and the position is a rectangle, so it's gonna make it as a rectangular picture. And then you're gonna have a public texture to the health bar. So this is the red bar itself, and public texture to the health bar position. Okay, so now the thing that is important to remember is our health bar position is going to be related to the frame position. Now this, I know you don't understand what this means, but I will explain you while I code, and you're gonna understand. So first we're gonna go back over here, and you're gonna see a frame position, which is a rectangle. This is the X, Y, width and height. Pretty self-explanatory, and I did a mistake over here. This has to be a rect. And let's go ahead to our GUI textures and back to our GUI script over here, and drag the health bar to the bar and the frame to the frame. Okay, now once we've got that, we go to our GUI texture and say GUI.drawTexture. This is a method used to draw textures on our screen. And what we're gonna do is you're gonna say we want to draw it on frame position. So first you give it the rectangular position, and then you give it the picture itself. And it's as simple as that. And what we can do is we can wait and play it, and we cannot see anything yet. And let's disable our enemy for now because it's just coming and attacking us. So you can't do anything yet. It doesn't show anything yet. But by changing our frame XY position and width, it's gonna show us a picture. Hopefully, there we go. It shows us a picture. It does not look very great now, but we're gonna make it look great. So first we want our picture to be in the middle of the screen, and for that we need to go to our code, and we're gonna have frame position dot set or dot x is equal to screen minus frame position dot width. I'll explain this code in a second. So basically, this piece of code brings the X position to the middle of the screen. So basically, it's the screen width minus the frame width divided by 2. So I'll explain why is it that way. First, you have the screen width divided by 2, which brings the initial position just in the middle of the screen, but we need the middle of the picture to be in the middle of the screen. And I don't know if this is too confusing, but by doing that, we're going to get the middle of the picture in the middle of the screen. I'm sorry if this does not make any sense, but I'm trying my best. And now if you see, the middle of the picture is going to be in the middle of the screen, and that's how it is. So we've got that sorted, and now we want our Y to be a little below the top. So and let's make our width hundreds and heights hundreds, and 30 is too much. Let's make it 20, 10 maybe. And this is just artistic work, whatever you like. 200s, 20. That's too small, of course. And remember, it's always relative to your screen. You can put in percentages, which I will show you in a moment. But for now, I'm trying to get this to look nice on my screen. This is really hard work, to be honest. Then that's way too big, I guess. Yeah. So I think that's pretty good, actually. Just a little bit more, and yeah, that's perfect. So I've come out to 2550. 2550. Okay, so I found my position to be good at 0. Well, 0 we already set the X in our code. Y is 20, 500 is width, 50 is height. Might be different for yours, depends. And it looks like this. Pretty good. Now you can make it in such a way that it stretches according to the screen, but the problem is this image quality is not good enough. So if your screen is big and this enlarges, it's gonna look really crappy. But I will anyways teach you how to stretch your GUI vertically and horizontally. So first, after you found out whatever fits to your game, whatever width and height fixes to your game, when your screen is at maximum size. So for me, when my screen is at maximum size, this fits me very well. So I put in 500 times 50 over there. So to make this happen, first you need to know your width, the width of your screen, and the height of your screen, which is not very hard to find out. You can just go to your system preferences or about this Mac or Windows, whichever you're using. So no, not software update, and just go to graphics or find out. It's not very hard. And this is not mandatory though. This is just if you want it to stretch or not. And basically we're going to say frame position dot width. Sorry, not center. First we're going to actually make a width variable, float width, and this is basically going to be the width of our GUI texture. And what we're going to do is we're going to say it's equal to you have to go to your calculator and type in 500, the thing which you thought was good for your GUI texture, divided by your screen width, which for me comes out to be 0.39. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my width to be 0.39. So this is the percentage width of your GUI. And it has to be a F over here because it's a float. And what you can do is you can say frame position dot width is equal to screen dot width times the percentage. And we can play this. And as you can see, the vertical, the horizontal thing, it adjusts according to your screen size. Now we need to do the same with the vertical distance. Same. For this case, you don't actually need the float variable. You can just say 0.39, but it's good to have the variable. But for now, I won't. They have frame position dot height equals screen dot height. And then we're going to go to our calculator again and do 50 times 800 because my screen width is 800 and 50 was the GUI texture's height that I found good. And 0.0625. And sorry, need to put in the float. Forgot that. And there we go. And as you can see, the health bar, it stretches and compresses according to your screen width. So now that we have our frame set up, we need our health bar to be set it up. So first I will tell you how we're going to do this. So as we know, we have our frame over here. So first what we're going to do is we're going to set our health bar position to the same position as our frame, which is approximately over here. And then from there, what we're going to do is we're going to tell our health bar to move by this much distance over here and this much distance down. And it's going to come exactly at this point where I'm pointing at. And then what we're going to do is we're going to reduce its width and size so that it fits in this black area. So first we're going to set its width, its X and Y position to the same as our frame, and then move it vertically, horizontally, and then vertically so that it comes to this point over here. Okay, so let's get to work. So first we're gonna for just to make things more organized, we're gonna have a void draw frame, and we're gonna copy this code into draw frame and call draw frame. So draw frame just draws the frame, so it just makes it more organized. And then we're gonna have a void draw bar. So this is basically the health bar, and we're gonna say draw bar frame. So first, as I told you, we need to make our position the same as in our of our frame. The position of our bar to be the same as our frame. So health bar position dot x, frame position dot x, and then same with y. Sorry. And let's draw the GUI itself, GUI.draw texture. Sorry, health bar. I just lost my train of thought. And health bar position and health bar. And let's actually set dot width is equal to. Let's just make the width equal to the frame position's width for now. Now another way to do these 4 lines in one line is just say health bar position dot set, and then you give in the 4 variables x, y, width, and height, and the same thing. But I like it this way because it's more descriptive and more easier for me to understand. But you can do it the other way too. And so for now, let's see if this works. And as you can see, we have the health bar covering the whole health frame. So what we want to do is we want to move this over to the right and to the bottom so it comes under the black area of the frame. So the way we're going to do this, we're going to say we want to move it 10% towards the right and maybe 10% towards the bottom. We want it in percentage because then it will adjust to whatever our screen is. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to say health bar. Sorry, we already have it over here, X. And we're going to say, we're going to have an int, actually float over here saying float horizontal distance. So this is basically how much distance is it going to move towards the right. And we're going to have a float. And it's going to be in percent, because we always want it in percentage so that it adjusts to the window. Vertical distance. So basically we're going to say frame position.x plus .width times our horizontal distance. So it's basically saying first set the position to x and move it by this much percentage. So horizontal distance is the percentage of the frame position width. If you don't understand, you will understand as we play the program. So don't worry yet if you don't understand it. Vertical distance. And let's leave the width and height the same for now. So let's play it. And as you can see, it is still at the same position. And now if we change our horizontal distance to 0.1, what it does is basically moves it by 10% of the frame's width. So if I change this 0.1 to 100%, which is 1, it's going to move it to the end because I'm telling it to place it at the 100th, at the position at the 100%, so all the way to the end. If I put it 0.5, it's going to put it in the middle because it's 50th percent of the width. So we're going to put it until we actually think it's fine. Let's do a little bit lesser. After playing a little bit with my health bar, I found out that for a vertical width of 0.108 goes perfectly at the black area in terms of in terms of horizontal distance. Now let's try for the vertical. 0.1, it's too low. 0.2, 3, 0.25. And I think 0.28 or 27 is good enough. So basically, now as you can see, our health bar is set up such that it is starting at the black top, the top left corner of the black area. So now we need to remember these values. So I'll just write it down. 108. 0.108 and 0.27. Save it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing with our horizontal, our width and our height. It's going to be a percentage of our bar. And sorry, 1 second, I just realized that was too far away. Okay, so let's just make this 0.05. I'm sorry about this, just trying to make it perfect. And yeah, okay. So now we're gonna do the same thing with our distance. So we're gonna say our health bar position dot width is equal to, first we're gonna have float width So this is going to be the height percentage and width percentage of our bar in relative to our frame. So it's going to be frame position dot width times the width percentage then let's go and find out which one comes. I just made a new layout for me to see it more clearly. So let's change the width to 50% and the height to 80%. So as you can see, 50% is still too big, and it actually doesn't. Sorry, the width. This is the width. Sorry. Let's change the width to something more sensible. 5. And as you can see, 0.784 seems to be good. And for the height, .433 seems to be good. So now as we can see, we actually have a health bar over here. And I might increase the height a little bit more, the width a little bit more. I don't want it to be near perfect. It's not perfect yet, but that's good enough for the tutorial purposes. And as you can see, let's actually write this down so I remember it, and then 0.787 and 433. So now we have a health bar which also adjusts according to the screen. As you can see, there we go, and it adjusts according to the screen. So for now, we're just gonna have I'm gonna end the tutorial over here as we're running high on time. I know we didn't do anything regarding the actual health, but this but we actually have the GUI setup, and it's not going to take very long in the next tutorial to actually update the enemy's health and change the bar itself. Thank you very much for for watching my video. If you liked it, please like, thumbs up, share, favorites. Thank you very much.